ahead. We had a big changes going on right now in, whoa, how does that look? Tell me what you think. No, whoa, I'm going to leave it at this and go down to here. Anyway, nice to be back. Had some time out and lucky to be back. And what a time to come back at. BLS head fired, new BLS appointed. Here, what? It's because I should be live. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. I can see myself. Looks pretty good. I'm just being syncing with the team to see if I'm live. We're all remote, as some of you know, and hence just having a look where everything is working well. Where is the window? I'm switching to my other profile. Don't know why guys went. Here I am. It should all be live. I hope I'm live. Yeah, it should be live on Twitter and on YouTube. So, wow, sorry guys, putting you up with this. What a waste of a minute. But anyway, sorry to waste your time. Hope you're joining in and you're liking this. I'm checking with the team. Is it all good now? Yeah, I can barely hear him. Oh man. Okay, how about now? Damn, this mic. It's such a crappy mic. I got to change the mic. Here, I'm going to go to sound. Let's see if I can change this here, put it up. It's full up input. And then here, why don't I change the volume a little bit? So turn up the volume. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Let me know. Is that better? Should be better. Yeah, all good for me. Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I'm Stefan Roost, founder of Truth Network and the Truflation.com, where we report Truflation, which was the initial founding that led to the Truth Network tied to the Truth token. What are we going to talk about today? Really give you a sneak peek in what we're doing on Solana. So the Truth token will go live on Solana. In fact, it already is. So stay tuned for that. And number one, also, what's been going on with BLS? We had an inflation report today, and we have a new head of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. What does that mean for interest rates in September? And what does that mean for crypto? And how does that impact? So those are things we're going to cover off today briefly. And look what we have to report. I'm just going to go straight into it. This is a super sneak peek. We're announcing this in a couple of hours, but as you watch it here first, you will see it here first, and I'm glad to share this with you. Look what we have here on Solana, on SolScan. You can now see the Truth token here, Truth Network being highlighted here. Images aren't all quite here yet. It takes time for it to get uploaded. But here you can see the token address on the Truth Network. We're going to be updating this across CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and others as well. Why are we doing this? Why are we bringing the Truth Network to Solana? Guess why? Attestation is really going to be important. Your data matters. So how do we protect the data, and how do we ensure that you have the source of truth for real world data? That's what Truflation and the Truth Network actually does. Truflation helps with aggregating and is a whitelisted validator to the Truth Network, e.g. putting real world data on there. Everything is attested. We've got a couple of other validators, which we'll be announcing very shortly, that equally aggregate data, write it to chain, and it all is attested. The chain, the Truth Network, is SQL based, SQL blockchain. No need to learn a new programming language. Integrated seamlessly with MCPs. Integrated is the battle-tested AI database. So all of this data, 100 million data items, are now on the Truth Network, available to everybody on Solana, using the Truth token to actually write data to the network and to be able to verify and validate and get attestation for that data of the Truth Network. And so that is now live on Solana. You can see it here. Token contract here. We'll be publishing this. You can copy it here. So glad to share that. Not only that, we're super happy to be working with Radium. Radium is also allowing us to trade the token. So there's a Sol Truth token here. You can see that live, and you can trade Solana and Truth out there. It's been getting a lot of trades already, and it's going in the right direction. So we like to see that, and glad to be a part of the Solana community finally. I can tell you a story. It goes way back when we were talking to Solana, and we were so close to actually launching on Solana. It was in Lisbon. It was meeting with the Solana teams, their grants teams, their bridging team, their marketing team. We met with everybody over there. And one thing led to the next. Boom, FTX blew up. Everybody got distracted, and all roads went in divergent directions. And so we decided to keep our heads down. We were in the deep of a winter thanks to FTX right after Luna. And so, yeah, we're back again. And now not only are we back again talking, we're actually live. And so here we are. I remember flying in I flew a long haul flight. I can't remember where I was from. Flew in, I think, from Austin, landed in Europe, in London, had some meetings, flew down to Lisbon. I arrived at midnight, did a podcast with Quill, who are the foundational developers of the Truth networks. They were building this SQL blockchain. We then acquired that team and brought it in-house, and the technology is now open source for everybody, but ultimately is the SQL blockchain that is now finally be built. It has a BFT consensus algorithm. So we're using Byzantine fault tolerance consensus algorithm, what we call Roadrunner. We have SQL-based smart contracts, so you can actually write straight to the chain. You don't need to go and index and use Graph or Subscript to actually go and index the data. You can actually write functions straight to this decentralized database. It's just not really fully decentralized. It's just mirrored database with a consensus algorithm, super fast and super efficient. So taking a look at that, that's what we built. That was with Quill. We did a Spaces. I was on my cab ride, my Uber ride from the airport to my Airbnb. I got to the Airbnb and rumors started lifting up around FTX. So everybody was out at dinner, having a great time, meeting everybody. And I said, I don't know, after Luna, where I lost a bucket load of money, I'm going to actually stay and just make sure that I don't get exposed to the same kind of experience that I went through with Luna. So I worked all night long till about 3 a.m., moving funds out and in and around from FTX, and then wanted to go out because I was so buzzed and wired from working all that time. And everybody was going to bed and everybody called it quits. So I was in the Airbnb wondering what to do at 3 a.m. in Lisbon, only to then go into an amazing Breakpoint conference. I mean, it was really good, well organized as usual by the Solana team, and had some great meetings, met in person with all the relevant people. And then one thing led to the next, boom, the whole world had changed, and we went into a deeper winter and worse cycle. Anyway, that's sort of some context and background. Just thought I'd share that with you. Not sure if you're interested, but just trying to make it a bit personal. Yeah, so that's the big news. That's what I wanted to give you a sneak peek on, what we've been working on. Just one of the things that we've been working on with the Solana team, and to extend the Truth network into other chains. We also have some interesting news. We have heard about what's going on in the inflation numbers. We saw inflation, so Truflation, which is a part of the Truth network and gets a lot of its data verified by the Truth network and is a whitelisted validator over there. Consumer prices, the BLS reported this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. They reported their view of inflation. So inflation stayed at 2.7% annually. So that's less than expected. The market was expecting 2.8, so about 0.1%. But either way, you look at this data, it's old data, it's stale, it's once a month that they get these updates. They've been reporting job numbers wrong all this time, and they have equally been editing the old data, and they're getting less data because of the budget constraints. They've been using less data to predict these numbers, and they've had less people to help them predict these numbers. They use a lot of consultants, third-party consultants, to help them do this. They can't afford them anymore. They can't spend the money on that. So all of that has changed. And we still look at this up at the pedestal. But the great thing is, what has this done for crypto? This has actually beefed up the prices. Look at all the crypto prices. Ethereum flying up, broke 4.4, right? So all of a sudden, it's up there. Bitcoin is now at 120. Ethereum's up at 4.470 right now, right? Truth is up at 2.23. Man, super low. Great opportunity. But ultimately, lots of momentum, people feeling bullish. What does this mean? What else is happening? So the BLS, we also saw an announcement about what's going on at the BLS. And we have a new head of the BLS. We have E.J. Antoni. Here he is. He's from Texas. He was at what was the institute he was at before? He was working at, damn it. Heritage Foundation. Thank you. So Heritage Foundation, so generally a more conservative, lean organization, very pro, libertarian approach, very less regulation. Exactly. So here, show a conservative podcast in Austin, WB Radio Network. So really good to see a new leader in the role. But what does this mean? Is this really going to change the BLS? Are we still going to trust these government numbers? I think that's something that we feel we need the blockchain to put trust in it, because you've got a whole bureaucracy underlying that. How long is it going to take for them to move from these old data sets into a modern system that acts in real time? Will they be able to move fast? Will they be able to work with fresh data? Will they be able to report accurately? Can you trust the numbers that they're putting out there? Where is the attestation associated with the calculation? The methodology that they're using, will they be publishing that? All of these changes are going to take time. They're not going to happen overnight. But let's see. I think it's a good step in the right direction. And ultimately, Truflation's here to help. What we want to do is provide the Truth Network, all of the data that has been aggregated, available to the agency. So the methodology, the algorithms, the calculations can all be done by the BLS. So the brain power stays with the BLS. The data, the collection, the publishing can all be done by third parties and be accessible to everybody simultaneously as they hop and set up a node. And each of these nodes provide a point of verification. So those are things that we're willing to do and really want to work with the Bureau of Labor and Statistic and the new head of the BLS, Mr. Antoni, would love to work alongside him and see how best the Truth Network can support the requirements, like we're doing in Argentina. We're already doing it with the Argentinian government, where they give us the data and we publish it to the Truth Network so everybody can see at the same time when it's released and published. No advantage. The only advantage is being able to figure out algorithms to be able to do a calculation that allows for a prediction. And not only do you need to wait once a month, you can update it every time, in real time, every day, all the time. So that is something that will leapfrog, bounds above every other economy around the world. Number one, you create trust. Number two, speed. Number three, decision makings in the economy are faster than in any other economy, retaining US leadership around the world. That's what we want, and that's what we're here to do. And we'd love to work together in how we can make this possible. And again, it's on the blockchain. It's using modern technology, SQL, which is coupled with AI capabilities, better and battle-tested more than any other technology in the AI landscape, particularly as it relates to data and databases, which is a core component to LLM requirements, to agentic workloads that need to get done. So there you go. Enough said on that. And really exciting to see new leadership take place. Anyway, yeah, I think it's a great time to be alive, as we always say. Super exciting. We're excited over here at Truth Network, and I'm just going to go over here to CoinGecko, where we look at some of the prices. Why? Because we all saw these changes taking place, and we're seeing that the market is happy about these changes. I don't know if you were listening to our spaces yesterday. We had a spaces with Andreas Steno Larsen, really good spaces. I implore you to go watch the recordings. If not, we'll be slicing and dicing that content up and then putting that into nice pieces for you to listen to in bite-sized chunks. I was out with somebody yesterday, 15-year-old. They love economics. They love looking at it. But if it's longer than a minute, they won't listen. So that's the attention span we need to meet these days. And here I am waffling on 20 minutes, and you're still listening to me. But either way, look, the markets have been positively impacted. Everybody's very excited about the opportunities right now. Everybody's looking forward and is hoping for a better marketplace. And if we look at the other thing that's really out there that matters is where are interest rates going to go? Everybody's waiting for September. That's the next meeting. And people are expecting a 95% are now expecting a rate drop. Look at that. Wow. That's insane. It went from 85% a day ago to 95%. That's a huge shift. So this, again, is why it's bolstering the market. The market is going strong. It's not going to stop. And if we look at the unemployment numbers, which were far different, and the reason behind the firing of the former head of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics was that those numbers were just so bad and the lack of reporting. And so hopefully EJ and Tony can actually really improve the reporting. And again, like I said, the Truth Network, Truflation team, together with Chainlink and Coinbase backing us, we'd love to help out and figure out what we can do there to support this. In addition to working with more Web3 companies, helping the attestation of their data sets in their prediction markets, on their perp decks, as they start to trade more interesting real world assets and real world indexes and other interesting new indigenous crypto projects, right? And indigenous crypto products. What do those look like? How do we get there? What can we expect to see? We have a vision at the Truth Network where we actually even think that you'll be able to trade some really exotic products soon, right? You'll be able to trade, imagine trading interesting products like this, where you'll be able to trade and leverage, because you can measure the Pentagon Pizza Index. You can then actually trade and, defense stocks based on trends that are driving. So late night pizza trends drive long bias towards defense equities, right? Why? They're working late. What does that mean? If the Pentagon's working late, what does that mean? Then possibly buys. If OnlyFans surge and luxury retail, what does that mean for luxury retail? Brazil, if it's raining and it's a bad crop for coffee, what does that mean? How can you build combinatory tokens? This is what we're trying to do with the Truth Network and be able to attest all of these elements and then be able to drive combinatory tokens associated with that. Not only that, because it's all SQL based, we're trying to build out capabilities where these marketplaces will automatically be created by agents. Not only will they be created by agents, but they will also be adopted by agents, and agents will start trading these combinatory tokens. And it's going to be such an amazing time. And we're already looking into combinatory tokens and smart contracts that are developed around that. And we want to bring this to places like Solana and where people are excited about trading products like this. We're also seeing that this isn't a fact, this isn't a fiction, this isn't dreaming, this is real. You can see here that there are papers already out there talking about AI-powered trading, algorithmic collusion, and price efficiency. What does this mean? That means that there are tools being created and documented and mathematics underlying the ability to trade such options and allow people to then have combinatory impact on various activities taking place. And that's why we're excited, and I hope you're excited too. And you can see the power of what we're trying to do at the Truflation team with the Truth Network, and how we look forward to working with you going forward. So I've kept this to 20 minutes. I want to keep these tight, and hope you found this powerful, exciting, and yeah, this is the best time to be alive. And the markets are finally beginning to reflect where we, at least in crypto land, have been working all through the deep winter and been suffering through. Finally, it's beginning to turn around. Let's hope it turns around for most of us. And what new innovations will we see come out of this? What new products will we see? What new companies, protocols are being built out there today that will shine and come out of this? We saw great innovations like Aave, Uniswap come out of the first wave of DeFi. Solana pop out and really come out to its shining. We saw meme coins. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. These are new crypto indigenous innovations and products that reflect the new culture, the new opportunities that are here for us to share and to build and to commercialize. And combinatory tokens are going to be one of them. So watch this space, sign up, follow us, and hope you enjoyed this. Thank you, everybody, and have a great Tuesday.